So if you're at this point of the presentation now, you're taking your original Cuban melody that you've been writing that has an 8-bar melody and then it has a montuno pattern, and you've written it for piano at this stage. So what you're going to do now in these slides is you're going to go ahead and start arranging that for an ensemble that your fellow Year 7 boys can play in. So that involves writing for xylophones and percussion. I'm going to take the rest of the composition that you've already done, and we're going to start transferring that into your arrangement. Before we can create the arrangement, we need to be able to go to the score and have a look. So this is what I've written so far. There's my montuno down the bottom, and there's my melody and my bass line. What we need to do now is take that and start arranging it for an ensemble. So click on the menu, go to New Score. It'll create a new score for you. We're going to start from a blank, and then what we need to do is bring this up. This is a standard piano stave. What we need to do is we need to add instruments. And now what we need to be able to add is we need to be able to add xylophones and percussion. So if we're going to add xylophones and percussion, we go to Add Instrument. Xylophones would typically be found in pitched percussion, but we don't have a pitched percussion option available to us in Noteflight. So what you can do is we want to be able to write this in a treble clef and in a concert pitched instrument. So the flute fits that very nicely, and I'll show you what it'll do. We'll take that and we're going to rename the flute as soprano, xylophone, and we won't worry about an abbreviation for it. So you create that and just hit OK, and it'll bring it up as just a single treble clef stave, which is exactly what we're after at this stage. Now we're going to do exactly the same thing for your alto xylophone. And what we might do for the next one, you can add your bass xylophone in treble clef if you prefer reading in treble clef, or we can put it in a lower pitched instrument. Say, let's do bass. So electric bass. We'll call this bass xylophone. And what it will do, it should pitch that in the bass clef, and it does. All right. After that, what you need to do is, we might get rid of the piano at this stage because I don't think we're going to need it just yet. So we'll get rid of that. And now we're left with the 3 xylophones. The remaining instruments you need to be able to put on are the remaining Cuban rhythm instruments. All the different rhythms of Cuban music are outlined in the rhythm slides, which are just here. We should put the clave first. So let's go back and start adding some instruments for the clave, which is unpitched percussion. We might just use a rhythm notation and we'll call this clave. And we'll take the same thing, I think. We'll go to another rhythm, another unpitched percussion and another rhythm part, and we'll call that I think we're going to call this one of these rhythms in here. So we're going to call this the martillo for congas. We'll call this, we won't even call that, we'll just call it because we don't actually have congas in the room, in the recital room where we're going to go and play. So we'll call it martillo, we'll call that the rhythm. Then we'll add another instrument because we've got to add another unpitched percussion instrument, and we'll add that as the cascara. Let's add that in. Take that out. And I think we've got to add one more. Yeah, we've got to add the cinquillo, which is the cowbell rhythm. So let's add that in. And that's our arrangement. That's what our arrangement will look like when it comes to writing, setting up your score. The next thing we need to be able to do after that is, given that you've already got a composition where you've got the rhythm already, you've got your melody and your bass line and a montuno section, we can now take that and begin to cut and paste it all into this particular arrangement. So what I might want to do now is go to Noteflight. I might open that in another tab if it'll allow me. I don't know if it will. Won't let me, I don't think. You can open this in a new tab so that you've got two windows open. And then in another video, what I'll do is I'll show you how to start transferring all the information from your 8-bar score into this arrangement.